on the other show. For those who aren't watching on YouTube or for those who are just listening and don't know how this works, we literally switched chairs. You got up, moved your chair, I moved my chair. We kept our own chairs the same that we've been sitting in for 3 hours, because why switch that now? We want to stay in our same comfort level.
It's more comfortable.
Yeah, but we physically moved the chairs around the desk so you could sit in a different position in the desk. Then that's how we roll here. We try to be professional.
We want chairs to be fresh for Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran when they do high school football overtime, because there will be a break in the studio here. So after the game, then they'll hit you with what they do best in doing the roundup for all of the games and all the scores in high school football that you're going to want. And typically it's just something that we do. We have extra chairs. So when someone's done with the shift, you don't want to sit in a chair where somebody's, hot ace has just been planted in it for a long period of time.
My favorite band, Hot Ace.
Hot Aces, man.
They're great to listen to.
Hot Ace of Base.
Yeah, you're right.
So anyway, Bone, we are 8 days away, and we're getting pretty excited we talked a little bit off the top of Man and Bone, and I can't wait for it. I'm not the biggest week 0 guy. And that's going to sort of get the ball rolling tomorrow. And there's not very many great games, but the one in Dublin, Ireland.
Yeah, that's the one.
Florida State, Georgia Tech.
I'll check in on that one. Noon tomorrow, Florida State, Georgia Tech. And I think Georgia Tech is rolling out like a special helmet for that one with like some kind of Ireland-inspired, like a middle stripe there.
Like a Gaelic-looking thing?
Yeah, it's got like a little design in it. Very cool-looking stuff. So, yeah, I'll be excited for that one, and then I'll go about my day and then check back in when it's time for, the real football.
Right, yeah. This is not something where I'm going to be locked in for every single play of that Florida State game. I am still like a kid in a candy shop, and you get that, Christmas Eve type of feeling where this season is going to be here. And even though you look at the non-conference schedule and it's not, we don't have like 2 years ago where not only did we have the excitement of a Buckeye football season, but you also had the excitement of a game against Notre Dame happening under the lights. Game 1. Here you got Akron and old Ben Finley, whose brother was Ryan Finley, former Cincinnati Bengals draft pick. He's going to quarterback those Akron Zips down here in Columbus, Ohio. But there's still so many things about our football team that we need to see with our own eyes.
I don't know what the biggest storyline is for all of Buckeye Nation. I don't know what it is even for you. But one of the things that I feel like we have talked about a lot of different things all throughout the shows all this summer about what we're excited about. Can Ohio State win this game or that game? Can they get back to beating Michigan? These are all important, right? But the biggest storyline for me is still the guy who's going to play quarterback for what could be the best team in college football.
Yeah.
To us as Buckeye fans, he's not a complete unknown in college football, but he's a largely unknown player to us because most of us didn't watch a lot of Kansas State. And what you have seen is film. Or highlights. We've not sat down and watched 12 games of his.
I know what you mean, yeah.
And so,
how do you handle a bad series? How do you handle a bad throw, right? Your coach getting in your face a little bit. All those things. How do you roll with those punches and take everything within the stride of a football game?
And I know that's been talked about. I'm not saying no one's mentioning this. I'm just bringing up that in this whole run-up of, Urban Meyer saying this is the greatest assemblage of talent he's seen in 10 years in all of college football. You've got guys like Joel Klatt who are making predictions saying the Buckeyes win the national championship, and I don't think that's a wrong prediction. I hope that's right. But these are the fundamental things that we still have to figure out with this team that lots of college football teams around the country are not figuring that out. They have a quarterback established. We don't. And so I'm looking forward to see what Ohio State has here.
Well, take a quick break, everybody, because I'll hit you with, it's going to sound like a press conference clip. The guys were talking after practice last night. Ryan Day actually announced that Nick McLarty, if you must know, 6'7", 250-pound punter,
I'm excited about this
is going to be the punter for week 1 against Akron. But more importantly, what's Will Howard been looking like through the duration of camp and in this last week? This is really Ryan Day's latest thoughts on his quarterback that he's going to take into this 2024 season.
I see a bunch of traits there. I think the first trait is size. He's big. He can stand in the pocket, and he's strong. So, I mean, that's the first thing you notice about him. Again, whether it's standing in the pocket with poise, I think that's another trait that he has that's excellent. He feels the rush. but he stands right in there. I think the next trait is just, his top-end speed. I mean, he can run 22 miles an hour at that size, which there's not a lot of guys who can do that. So I think that's an extraordinary trait. And I would say his overall leadership, command in the huddle is another, something that he's really, grown into in the last few months when he's been here. And then his accuracy. He's been very accurate since he's been here. And when he knows what's going on and he can anticipate what's happening, I mean, it looks right. You just feel it. And he can hurt you, a bunch of different ways. So, his ceiling, that's going to be kind of, up to how he plays this season. But, I see a player who has a lot of great skills that, translates well to the next level. So, we'll see. But I know his first focus is on winning games around here.
I can't be a total psychologist about this, Bone, but I know that it isn't the tone where it's, wow, like you are not going to know what hit you. It doesn't feel like it's Justin Fields level or CJ Stroud level of just wait, buckle up. You might not know a lot about this guy yet, but woo, when you see him start to play, bullets are going to be flying. He's going to be making plays. And it's like you said, the college football world has seen Will Howard. It's just, how has he improved with everything that he's taken in his journey at Kansas State, with playing some, not playing some, like being the guy and not being the guy, all in the same journey there.
Yeah.
And how are you going to put this all together with all this better talent and some better coaching and some time for you to grow personally?
Well, and I think the beauty of sports, at least to me, is in a weird way, I didn't like math when I was in school, but the variables, right? Will Howard at Kansas State is different than Will Howard at Ohio State for a variety of reasons. There's different pressures. There's the fact you're running out into Ohio Stadium, which has its own level of aura around it. You have Chip Kelly calling some plays for you now. You have Chip Kelly helping design this offense, and Ryan Day, of course. Chip Kelly is notorious for running the football. He loves to do that. And if this offense is going to look like that, and you are going to see more of a running attack with two All-American candidates behind him and his own abilities in that department, you wonder how many series are we going to see where we say, you know what? They threw the ball twice in that series, and yet we just rolled over whoever it was and scored, with at will. At will being a nice little pun there. Maybe they put that on the T-shirt.
At will,
I don't know.
Baby.
Scoring at will.
Yep. Scoring at will.
We have scoring at will and turnover on downs on defense with Caleb Downs. That was a little Tim May for you.
Hey, he's here for the next 20 minutes. That boy, T-Bone.
All I'm saying is that's the kind of thing that I am curious to see. Do we see this offense air it out? I don't expect that, but maybe I'm wrong. But we will start to unpack that as we go forward. I am anticipating this being kind of a pretty balanced, if not a little run heavy on this offense.
I want to tell you real quick about something else that I'm excited for, because the Buckeyes do have a couple of bye weeks in here, and that September 14th weekend, that first bye week, it's looking pretty tasty because American Nitro's Smoking Hot Wing and Music Fest, presented by Lowe's, it's coming back for year 2, and I can't wait. I'll set the stage. We got a lot of live music, cold beers, a wing smoking competition that I get to be the judge for again, food trucks, literally over 3 tons of chicken wings for this thing, and a great cause, raising money for Ghosts of War. It provides immediate assistance to veterans in need. If you think you got what it takes, sign the team up at 971thefan.com. All these wings and the smokers are provided for you, so you don't got to worry about that, and you're competing for cash prizes and that coveted first place trophy. Got our teams winning a lot of medal around here. You could too. Brought to you by Claypool Electric Equipment Share, Kenjo Outdoor, Treba Industrial Staffing, and more. Nothing like cramming your face with wings during football season.
Love
right?
that.
So that's a way to do it. All right, some of our morning show guys were on to something that the Buckeyes should do next year. And I want to throw my hat in the ring on that too. That's next. T-Bone's in with me. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
At Bob's Discount Furniture, when you find a complete dining set that seats 6 and comes with an extendable leaf for only $5.99.
Oh my, Bob.
And a sofa that doubles as a chaise, and a bed, and storage like my Playscape for only $9.99.
Oh my, Bob.
And a queen mattress with world-famous Papa-Pedic memory foam and an 18-year warranty like my Treasure for only $7.99.
Oh my, Bob.
Well, there's only one thing to say. Oh my, Bob. Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The drums bang, the flame sparks, the trumpets blow, the hot dogs sizzle, the crowd cheers, the fans eat. The sounds of Buckeye football are synonymous with the best damn band in the land in the stadium and the Weber Grills outside the stadium. Weber is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. To celebrate another season, Weber is launching a limited edition Ohio State Grill, inspired by our Buckeye helmets. Get the best damn grill in the land at Ohio area retailers near you ahead of the football season.
It's Toyota's national sales event with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including Toyota's lineup of go-anywhere, do-anything trucks, like the powerful new Tundra. Now through September 3rd, you can get a new Tundra with low-rate financing, special leases, or customer cash up to $2,000, depending on model. And the 2024 Tacoma is now arriving at your Toyota dealer with dominating power, legendary capability, and captivating style. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
It is time to square off against overpriced family dinners with Donato's all-new bakery crust pizza. A square-cut, thicker bakery-style crust with smoked provolone cheese and Donato's fresh toppings, plus your choice of marinara, ranch, or garlic sauce for dipping. The crust is thicker, but the deal is the kicker. Right now, you can get 2 one-topping bakery crust pizzas for just $19.99. It's a whole lot of pizza for not a lot of dough. Order with the app or at Donatos.com. Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Hey Columbus, looking for the perfect day trip? Head to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. Dive into football history, see legendary players, and enjoy interactive exhibits. Fun for the whole family. Visit ProFootballHOF.com for tickets. The Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, where it's always football season.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
Hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine and just a perfect end of the day and to the week. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s with light winds and low humidity. Down to around 60 and a cool start on your Saturday morning, but comfortable. Back in the upper 80s with a bit more sunshine and humidity by Saturday afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
The best sports talk in the Big Ten lives right here. Now back to the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Timmy Hall, T-Bone, the one and only, spending some time with us on the Buckeye Show. We're honored to have him stay a little bit late for Man and Bone. Rhyme time, back there running things. He's going to take us through high school football coverage and everything tonight. Before I get back to the Buckeyes, I want to tell you one more time about my friends at Tri-State Men's Health, because you see there's a little thing you can't have affecting you really ever. You really don't want it affecting you during season. I mean, it's football season. And that could mean, it's also season for something else. So you can't have erectile dysfunction. You don't need it. You don't want it. ED is a bad condition, terrible condition. It causes stress in your relationship. It can give you undue anxiety, hardships on a man, and often on the partner as well. And a lot of men that suffer from it, you'll go years and you won't seek treatment. I get it, right? So there's a stigma about it. You don't want to talk about it, but Tri-State Men's Health, they will make you more comfortable in that fact. So check them out at tristatemenshealth.com. They have lovely facilities, 2 here in Central Ohio, Westerville, and the one in Hilliard, right off of 270 and Cemetery Road. I see them for the low T treatment. They are great right there. They're going to help you put some zip on that spiral. It's going to be a tight spiral, baby, when they're done with you. So check them out. Success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can have you last an hour or more. Dear God, longer than a championship game halftime. So see him, tristatemenshealth.com. Tell him Timmy Hall sent you. All right, Bone. So another shout out to the guys on the Friends today, Bishop and Friends. I'm driving in, ready to hang out with you, and they're talking about week 0, which I just told you in the last segment. It doesn't really, there's not a lot of juice in it for me.
Yeah, I mean,
when I got one football game that I can put on a marquee, and it's not even a top 25 matchup where both teams are ranked.
Most of those games, other than the one that you've got with Florida State and Georgia Tech, the reason week 0 exists half the time is because of Hawaii.
Exactly.
These teams need a bye week after they travel to Hawaii.
And they talked about that.
Right. So, like, almost all these teams you're seeing are teams that usually play Hawaii. Those are not usually your Texases, your, big movers, Ohio State, Alabama, et cetera. So, yeah, that makes sense that they're not all great games.
And there are some cases where they were talking about, bigger games. Why, outsource one of these to Dublin, Ireland, when you can just create some kind of bigger game here back home. And I do want to say that the Buckeyes have had some part in this before. The Pigskin Classic used to be a thing. Maybe there was another name for a game like that. I know they played in East Rutherford, New Jersey to start off a season. I don't remember if that was I think it was a Miami game. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, that does.
They played the Canes.
I feel like they lost that game.
Yeah.
I think that at least one of them.
Back when they were a real deal.
Yeah, the Kickoff Classic was definitely a thing.
Kickoff Classic and Pigskin Classic.
I feel like that might have even
different
been
versions.
90s or early 2000s the last time maybe one of those the Buckeyes were in. But
I think they had Texas Tech in one of those games
that sounds
one year.
right.
But the point that they went on to make, though, was about a double bye. And how Ohio State should take a good hard look in years that they don't have 2 bye weeks like they're going to have this season, especially with the way college football is going to be. And you're going to have the ability to take a loss. Not saying that Ohio State's planning on taking a loss, but circling the wagons and just getting in the college football playoff. I mean, shoot, in a couple of years, they might be expanding the college football playoff again, so it's bigger. Right. So their point was to have the chance of getting maybe an October bye and a November bye by being a part of week 0. And if you are going to have a patsy type of game, no offense, Matt guys, but games where the Buckeyes are going to be favored by 45 or more, why not just play Akron or Western Michigan or Marshall tomorrow in week 0? I fully agree with that, guys.
I think that's a very interesting discussion to have, and I think it's an interesting problem that is created by the fact that problem's the wrong word. You have now the idea that you don't have to go out and go 12-0 to have a chance to win a national championship, right? You can probably lose 2 games if you're Ohio State. Not that anybody wants that, but depending on which games they are, when they happen, all that stuff, you're probably still getting into the college football playoffs as long as there's not like 4 teams that'll have a better record in the Big Ten. And as long as you're a top 15, top 20 team, you're Ohio State. You're probably going to jump over some schools that maybe might have a slightly better resume, but they want Ohio State in there. That works to your advantage. So why not look to, in this new era that we're about to enter in, figure out the best way to check out some new solutions to get your team ready to play the way you need to. If you're looking at early November now, that's almost looked at as traditionally the end of the season, or we're nearing the final third of the season. If you're looking at it from the current calendar, that's not even really halfway on a calendar to when the football season ideally ends for you.
Late January. It's going to be late January.
So if you're taking a bye in November, before that would be like, well, there's only a few weeks left. You don't want to bye there. But now that might not be so bad to give you a little bit extra rest for your biggest games coming up. I would think about it for week 0. I don't need to be a part of the first week of college football. That's fine with me.
You're a team like Ohio State. You want to plan on at least being in that 13th game. You know?
Yeah.
You want to plan on being in Indy, and you don't get a week break after that Michigan game. That rolls right into it.
You don't think these TV networks would love the idea, hey, week 0, we get an Ohio State game? Like, you get one of those programs. Ohio State's one of the very few that you put Ohio State on at midnight against the Little Sisters of the Poor, to borrow, a Gordon Gee term or whatever.
Then week 0 becomes more like week 1.
Well, I'm saying if you put them on any time, you're going to draw 8 to 10 to 12 million people to watch this game. They love that on week 0. So, it works out for everybody.
And honestly, just because I'm not that interested in it, I get Florida State is still Florida State.
Oh, they don't draw a number.
That matters. They're playing Georgia Tech. That's not some throwaway game.
But not
it's
the same as Ohio State playing anyone. Right.
No.
It won't draw that number, even if it is in Ireland, and it's very cool.
I'm going to do something fun here to close. By the way, though, I have a fun segment that I have started to do in the last couple of years, at least, where I play my favorite NFL theme. Everybody's got their favorite, right? I don't know why mine became The Lineman is the name for it. If you didn't know, it's this one. It kind of rumbles,
Sure. I like it.
I remember hearing this on shows as a kid, and they would do segments with this. So that became my background music when I do my final walkthrough. That's what I call it. So that segment will be back next Friday. Right at this time, I actually will debut it at 6:05. So I pretty much start the show going into a Buckeye football game day and hit you right with the final walkthrough. We go ins and outs of everything. So we'll get deep in the weeds on Akron and who they are. Things you've never heard about the Zips.
Yeah.
You'll hear in that segment.
Okay. I love that. That's all the stuff you need. That's what you want.
Yeah. So that's just a little teasing ahead for next Friday and what we're going to have on the Buckeye Show there. But before we get to high school football coverage, I thought I'd do a little game here where we can predict some things about this upcoming Ohio State football season in terms of over-unders and some prediction time. So I've been thinking a lot about this and what is Will Howard actually going to do? And he's a dual threat guy. So I set this at total touchdowns. Whenever you see this happening, 39.5 for Will Howard, over under.
That's tough because I feel like we could be looking at, and I'm not saying this to be boastful or braggy or anything like that. I feel like Will Howard has the potential to get you double-digit ground touchdowns.
I believe it.
Just running game touchdowns because of the fact that he might have a few that he breaks loose from outside the 20, but most of those I figure you're going to have looks, you're going to have things that get him the ball, and he's going to have a mismatch, and he'll be able size-wise to run someone over who might not be as big if you get him in space. So, yeah, I think that you could see him get to that. It's more to me about could he cross over 28, 30 touchdowns through the air. That I don't know as much about. I feel more confident about the running number. I guess I'll take over on that.
I got him over.
I want to be optimistic there.
I got him over, and I got it as a 30-10 type of split. Quinshon Judkins, rushing yards. Another one, I think we could have 1,000 guys. I put him at 1,150. I take the over. You?
I do feel like over is, I want to believe over. I do feel like having a light schedule to start gives him a chance to really get out there. And plus, with Travion, we know that there have been usage issues where it comes to a certain amount of time. Suddenly he's not available, injured, whatever. I think Quinshon Judkins has a very big opportunity to put up even bigger numbers than that, depending on how this all works out. It may not be even splits right down the middle.
All right, Bone. For the rest of these, no talky-talky. Just give me answers.
All right.
Trey Henderson touchdowns, 12.5.
I'll say under.
Okay, I'm going to take the over with him too. Emeka Egbuka could become the all-time leading receiver if he hits this, 1,050 receiving yards.
I'd like to go over. I'm under on that. Yeah. I think I was just saying Will Howard. I'm going to go over on that.
G. Scott touchdowns, 4.5.
Oh, I like that. I like over on that. I'm going to say we get the tight end involved.
I'm going to take the 5 too. Jack and JTT sacks, 18.5. Give me the over for that.
I want that to be over.
Yeah.
I want to see them coming like all over. I want them to be there just knocking guys loose every single down.
Caleb Downs touchdowns, 1.5. Give me the over.
Over.
Give me 2.
Over.
OSU turnovers gained, 18.5.
Yeah. That's let's go over.
Over as well. Over as well. Bone, thanks for doing it. By the way, we here on the Buckeye Show are sponsored by our friends at CareSource. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Glad to do it. That was a lot of fun.
All right. High school football coverage is coming up. It's Harvest Prep at Pick Central. Can't wait for it. Thanks for joining us on the Buckeye Show right here on The Fan.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $219 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. Get the right car at Reichert. We're dealing.
With approved credit. 2024 Sentra SV FWD 36-month lease with $3,000 due at signing. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havner Park in Liberty Township. Pay homage to those that have served in the Vietnam War. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public. To learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
It's the summer sell down at Performance. Get up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 24 Jeep Wranglers and Grand Cherokees during the Make This the Summer of Jeep event. Performance, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Georgesville, and Delaware.
Not valid on previous sales. Cannot combine offers. Must take delivery from dealer stock 8/20 to 8/31/24.
Life. It's full of strange twists and unexpected surprises. But at AAA, it's always been our policy to look on the plus side. And our AAA Plus members tend to take the same view. Take Martin, for example. Last Monday, his morning coffee surprised him with an extra 10 degrees of Fahrenheit. Ouch! It was just the jolt of energy he needed to start the day. Later, when his shirt was targeted by the mustard on his burger, he became a proud trendsetter.
Martin, looking good.
And when he walked face first into a sparkling glass door, he was happy to provide some much-needed entertainment for his coworkers.
I'm okay.
And of course, when his car battery took early retirement, Martin felt no resentment. He knew there was a plus side. AAA's expert roadside assistance was only a call away.
Hello, AAA. Are you in a safe location?
While we can't all be like Martin, we can become a AAA Plus member and experience the peace of mind that comes with living on the plus side.